Newly reappointed Home Secretary Suella Braverman is facing fresh scrutiny, this time over allegations that she ignored legal advice about keeping asylum seekers in processing centres for too long. And Labour are pushing for an inquiry into the security breach which led to her sacking by former Prime Minister Liz Truss. Today, the Levelling Up Secretary Michael Gove insisted she is still the right person to be Home Secretary, as Harry Horton reports.
It's less than 6 days since Suella Braverman started her second stint as Home Secretary. So far, it's hardly been a smooth return. This week, inspectors told MPs this migrant processing centre in Manston, Kent, was so overcrowded it was unsafe. Today, the Home Secretary was accused of ignoring legal advice about detaining migrants here for unlawfully long periods, something the government denies.
The situation in Manston is not one that any of us are happy with, but Suella has been working incredibly hard in order to ensure that we can deal effectively with the facts on the ground, and she's deployed an Army General, Stuart Skeets, in order to make sure that the situation in Manston can be improved.
Suella Braverman's first stint as Home Secretary ended less than 2 weeks ago, following a security breach. Opposition parties say she should never have been allowed back into government.
All of this shows why Rishi Sunak was so irresponsible to reappoint her just 6 days after she had broken the ministerial code. This is not in the interest of the country. We've still got the Conservative Party putting their own politics before the national interest.
One former Tory Chancellor says the Home Secretary may soon be forced out.
Well, I think they probably make a calculation down the street that she's going to blow up, and that's fine by them because, she's no fan of theirs and they're no fan of hers.
For now, Suella Braverman remains in post, with an ever-growing list of challenges on her desk.
And Harry joins me now. The big question, Harry, can Suella Braverman survive?
Well, she's certainly under pressure at the moment, and she's got this ever-growing in-tray at the Home Office. And you saw in my report some of the issues at the immigration centre in Manston, Kent there. It's overcrowded. There are reports of outbreaks of disease among the many hundreds of residents there. Interestingly, today, the Immigration Minister, Robert Jenrick, was visiting that centre, not the Home Secretary. I think in the coming week, MPs will want to see Suella Braverman get on top of some of these issues, and they'll be looking to see if there are any further questions about her judgment. And also, interestingly, George Osborne there saying that Downing Street are no fans of Suella Braverman. He is quite close to this current Downing Street administration. So she is still in post tonight, Suella Braverman, but I think it's fair to say she's on shaky ground at the moment.
Interesting, Harry. Thank you. An attack was launched at an immigration centre in Dover earlier today. Petrol bombs were thrown by a man who then took his own life. Callum Watkinson is there for us. Callum, what more do we know about this?
Well, this facility is another location in Kent used by Border Force to process migrants when they arrive here in Dover. Kent Police told us they got a call about this just after 11 o'clock this morning. A man had driven up to the gates behind me in a white car and thrown 2 or 3 incendiary devices from the window. He's caused some moderate damage to the fence here. He caused a minor injury. He then drove off to a petrol station less than half a mile from here, where it's been widely reported that he took his own life whilst sitting in that car. Now, we haven't had any official confirmation that his actions were in any way provoked by the function of this building. What we do know, though, is that yesterday saw one of the highest daily totals of migrants arriving here for many weeks. 990 people arrived here in Dover. Now, the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, you heard from Harry there, under pressure over the immigration issue. She's tweeted about this in the last hour. All she's said, though, is that her thoughts are with those affected and the tireless Home Office staff and the police who are working here in Dover.
Callum, in Dover, thank you for that. Voters are going to